Hey y'all, what's going on? Welcome back. And to those of you, this your first time bumping into Niambi, welcome. Yep, got my candle lit. Get my incense going. Yeah, it's a whole vibe. What's the vibe for the day? Without further ado, honey, let me tell you. My vibe for the day is I woke myself up laughing. I was like, okay. Got up, washed my face, brushed my pearly whites, and went straight into meditation. So when I tell you it's a big message for today, the title for this video is going to be called God Didn't Write That Book. Yeah. God did not write that book. Where my channel is derived from is me going through my spiritual awakening and realizing that, we've been taught wrong. And I was like, I gotta tell, like, I would tell, I have been, like, I was like forced to do this podcast for one, because it was like, I was running off at the mouth to my friends, and they was like, okay, girl, enough, honey. Okay, we get it, you know? So I was like, somebody else got to know this, you know? And so I actually touched one of my friends with it, and she was like, you have to go, you know? And then Spirit was telling me, come on, let's go. And so when I came up with that title, God Did Not Write the Book, it was basically talking about the Holy Bible. Okay. When I talk to people who are religious, and I have to say religious opposed to spiritual, there are some people I can look at, I can tell that they get it or it's clicking for them. And then there's some people that's like, you know, the people that are like, I know, I already know, you know. But when I went into spirituality and started learning about it, it seemed so close to biblical. I was like, you know, and then I went back to the book and I was like, it's a lot of diversions. Then when I would listen to a pastor, it was a lot of distractions. Or when I would listen to interpretation, it was a lot of distraction. It was because me feeling like a particular person or a teacher might have ulterior motives. I was like, that's a distraction. This needs to be broke down in simple form. And so that's what I'm here for. I'm not a theologian. I did not go to Bible college. This is not Bible study. This is something that I realized that when people talk about, when religious people talk about God, they don't, to me, it's like, it's not applied to regular life. It's just something that they can say, like that they believe in God, like, because they're not applying it to their real life. When you start to have a real life conversation, it's like, man, I'm going through this, and this, and this. And then you say, but God, it's like, yeah, I know, but, you know, yeah, I know, but. So it's like, they don't even, and I've actually been in conversations like this, like on panels and everything, where we're talking about a situation and I say something about God. It's like, yeah, but you're thinking aspirational, or you're thinking like fairy dust. Like, no. So the more and more you watch me, you will see me get further away from the word God, because I feel like soon as somebody hears God, it's like a feeling of what do you call it? There's some in the word God invokes a feeling where it's either I'm all in or let me back out. And so you'll hear me use words like source, spirit, the power, force, things like that, because I feel like the word God is too small. Like that, you have now boxed this big thing up that's bursting out of the box, that's you can look and see like in front of your eyes. You should be looking in the mirror and seeing the Father. You should be looking in the mirror and seeing power. You should be looking in the mirror and looking into the eyes of God. So you should be looking into the eyes of source, the eyes of the manufacturer, the eyes of power. And so I went on to make this video today about God did not write this book. Okay. You would think that the way people speak about, the way people speak about this book is like the book is their God. Because they speak more about the Bible say, the Bible say, the Bible. Shut up. Please. Please. Because God didn't write that book. First of all, go back to why this book is even over here in the United States. Why this book is even practiced all over the world. To put you in lockstep. To control you. This is not speaking down on this book. This is not speaking down on church. This is not speaking down on the pastor. I will continue to reiterate. Pastors was X'd out with Moses. Moses had them people in the book, which the story of Moses is a parable. Okay? An earthly story that has spiritual meaning. Okay? Okay. Moses led them people out of bondage, slavery, abuses. They went out in the desert, was wandering around, went to the promised land and said they looked like grasshopper in their own eyes. So in their own eyes, they were too small to compete. That's what you do in life. Because you don't realize the force, the source, the creator. These people, these religious people speak on faith. Faith is such a small word. Faith is a small word. People have made faith a small word. It's just something that they say. It's just something that a lot of them say. You have to believe. In the parable where, it was said, go to the wall, shut your mouth, walk around 7 times, and rejoice. That's a parable. But that's what you got to do. When it's time for you to go to where you're going, when it's time for you to dominate and subdue, when it's time for you to do what it is you've been told spiritually to do, shut your mouth, think it over 7 times, And then rejoice knowing that this wall, because it's a parable, remember, earthly story, giving a spiritual lesson, it's a wall in front of you that you think you can't have what's on the other side. You're not alone. You are not alone. You're not the only person thinking that. You're not the only person thinking that. And then once you realize this source, this power is waiting on you, you got to do the work. You got to do the work. One of my favorite verses in this book that I'm explaining to you is not written by God. And the reason why I'm saying that is because you would think that God himself scribbled those words in that book. It is a tool. You will be given the keys to the kingdom. It's a key. But you got to get to him yourself. After Moses, them people had to do it themselves. But even though they was in the promised land, how do you get to heaven? Okay, let's use the parable, the story of Jesus in human form. It gives you a clear vision, human form. You didn't hear about Jesus till after 13. You heard, the birth and all of that, and then I must be about my father's business, and this and this and this. But you didn't hear about him again till he was 30. That's extra stuff in there. But Jesus was human form. Okay, y'all ain't getting it when I teach it like this, when I tell you this, when I keep telling you God said, okay, let me give a human form so that it can be seen what you should do. Understand that there is a oneness. Because when I'm talking to you, I'm talking spirituality. I'm allowing you to give the book a break. But hopefully you're familiar enough with the book to understand what I'm saying. Because people who are religious are married to this book. Whatever this book say, you can't take nothing out. You can't put nothing in. You can't, let me say something. You cannot live this entire Bible. So understand what to take from it and what to leave right there. Just like you can't live every sermon, it's what you can take from it and leave right there. These are earthly stories to give a spiritual lesson. I'm so sick of people being religious. God said, how you know? Because you read it? Otherwise, shut up. You don't got to tell nobody what God said, because if you talk to them, it'll tell them. This book is speaking about a spirit. This book is speaking about a power that you have access to, that you can tap into, that you can invoke. That's what this book is talking about. And it wasn't written by God. It was written by people. So if God talked to them people, you don't think he talks to you? No, your problem is you're too busy in the book. You're too busy filling your brain with this book and everything that you've always heard. Somebody else told you. Somebody else said. You get to them. When they talked about Jesus speaking parables and all of that, that story is a parable as well. Born, knew I must be about my father's business, and started teaching at 30. Teaching. The creator, the source, is oneness. The two commandments which you should hold all the laws. All the laws before Matthew everything that somebody said, somebody did. Hold all the laws on the 2 commandments. Those are love yourself and your neighbor, and source with all your heart, mind, and soul. Heart, mind, and soul. Them are the 2 commandments. The greatest 2. That I don't hear nobody preaching on them. What's your motive? What's your motive? After they got into the promised land, Jesus still had to come to let them know this is what it is. You got to do this. Realize his purpose. Oh, he said his purpose was teaching. When they came after him, he started running. That's what happened to me. When the spirit of God started coming after me, when source started tracking me down, I was running. I ran. I went on that cross, because that's what you got to do. You got to get on that cross. You got to give up your old mind, renew your mind. You got to give up that old heart, because Christians, they walk around and still got grudges against people. Won't talk to their mama. Won't talk to, family members. Holding a grudge on somebody that took their man in high school. Yeah. Christian. Renew that heart. Love everyone. There is a oneness. Every living thing is connected. That's what spirituality teaches. Everything. Everything. This Bible don't tell you to be no fool either. Oh, well, I'm just doing such and such because even when your mother and father forsake you, if you got to let them go, you got to let them go. But I'm going to tell you this, purify that heart, release the grudge. Love them from afar. My girl said the best, Latoya O'Keefe. I love you, God bless you, goodbye. I got one too. Best prayer I ever prayed, fuck them. Yeah. With love. Respectfully. When they got to go, they got to go. When the people have to get out of your life, they have to get out of your life. You hang on to that person with those lower vibrations. They're going to either pull you down or you're going to pull them up. Yeah. God didn't write this book. This book was brought over here by the colonizers. But they knew to put the right stuff in there. That's why I say it's a tool. They put the right stuff in there so it can be double taught, triple taught, quadruple taught. That's why so many different denominations I can tell you anything about this book. But who told you you was naked? My crown acting funny. Who told you was naked? The pastor. Oh, sister, you had a miscarriage. Abortion. You ain't gonna be able to get to God. Oh, sister, you a sister. You can't get to God. Yes, they actually say that now. Who you following? Who you up under? Source. The creator. You not about to trick me no more. You got to get to the Father by yourself. And what Jesus said, what was the last words of Jesus? See, somebody wrote this because they knew what it was, but it's in parables. Last words is, I commit my spirit into your hands. That's what you got to do. That's how you prosper. That's how you dominate. That's how you subdue. All this stuff you think you doing. All this working and tilling and all this stuff that you doing, you ain't doing nothing. Not what you was put here to do. No. No, how you start a business? Get to them. By yourself. Shut up. Talking all that stuff you used to know. Speak those things into existence as if they were. And believe. Believe. Renew your mind. Change your heart. Purify your heart. I'm going to get into all of those things because I'm going to give you tips and tricks and everything to renew your mind. I'm waiting to get to my threshold. And when I do, ooh. This is a this little 35 video series is a radical series. Shake you up. I want to X out the people that I don't like the way she talk. Yeah. Get up out of here. Go get it somewhere else. Go get that feathery shit somewhere else. Go get that shit that keep you spending your money, giving you 10% and riding in the same car for 4, 5, 6 years. That you're living check to check. Go get that. That works for you. You want a whole bunch of hallelujahs and amens and tambourine playing and sending you to a spiritual dead end. Meditate. Start today. Shut your mind off. Same way you would do that phone, baby. That phone get to acting up. Ooh. Don't play. Not that phone, baby. That phone get to acting up, baby. You charge it. It get low. You charge it. It get to acting crazy. You shut it down. You're looking for the reset pin and all that shit. But won't do it for yourself. Can't do it for you. Ooh. I'm going to have to. No, you're going to have to sit your ass down somewhere. You're going to have to get to the Father. You're going to have to shut your mind off. You're going to have to cleanse your heart. Ain't nothing on this earth you can't do except fuck over people and yourself. Do it if you want to. Just like my last video. Everybody want to talk about the devil. Want to talk about hell. People live in hell right here. People live in heaven right here. It's in your mind. That fool that ran in the church in California, he's living in hell in his mind, in his heart. You got to get it right here. You ain't going nowhere. When you close your ass for the last time and that heart stop beating, you going in the ground or up in smoke. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust. You going right back in that soil, baby. Or in the ether. So keep on thinking you going somewhere. You suffering that because you going to get that. You better get it here. Get up in that book. Read that word verbatim that says, it shall be done on earth as it is in heaven. You not going to no heaven. You better create your heaven here. Create your heaven here. By using your mind and your heart. Get all that old shit out of there that's telling you that you can't have what it is that you want. You can't be what you want. You can't experience what you want. Who told you you was naked? Who told you ain't had no power? Because they don't want you to know that you have the power. You get to talking to somebody religious, they speaking all these problems out their mouth. And then got the nerve to talk about profanity. No, you're speaking curses out of your mouth. Because I don't know who told you that fuck was a curse word, but anytime you read in that book about a curse, it's physical. It's physical. Yeah. So if you don't like how I articulate and enunciate in what I'm saying it because it gotta be radical. Y'all not listening. Do you see what's going on in the world? Do you see that evil is lurking? Evil is people. You got to get yourself closer to the source than church. Closer than the source than reading these fables, stories about other people. You a person too. You think God can't say to you? God said. What did he say to you? What did he say to you? Oh, he can only talk to the pastor? He can't talk to you. What did he say to you? He can only talk to Adam? What did he say to you? Now, I'm going to give you some words of my mentor in spirit, Dr. Myles Munroe, which said, your future is not in front of you. Your future is in you. He used the mango seed, but I just planted watermelons the other day. And I'm going to show you. Can you see it? My auto focus be like, girl. This is a watermelon seed. It is a watermelon in here. In here. Planted in the ground. And a whole watermelon is going to come from this seed. Your future is not in front of you. Your future is in you. Through the power of your mind and your heart. Through the power of speaking those things into existence as if they were. There are keys in this book. God didn't write this book, though. You can take those keys in this book and create your own life. A life of abundance and prosperity. With love and admiration. Given to yourself. Now, I know y'all knew it was coming, right? I love you.